Oh, you're gonna love this.
All right, guys, PTS notes. Welcome in, everybody. If you guys are catching us on YouTube, appreciate you being here. We're gonna go over the PTS notes. This is for 8.3.0. All right. Just to start out, welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online 8.3.0 and the beginning of the new Shadow over Morrowind adventure. Blah blah blah. But we're gonna read it anyways. The DLC features 2 challenging new 4-player PvE dungeons. Ball Sunner, you'll help the Sigic Order investigate and contain the strange power emanating from Mysterious Township. Now, honestly, guys, I'm already bored reading this, so we're just gonna skip past this. I'll post the link pad in in case you guys want details. I'll post the link in the chat. There you go. We're gonna get to the juicy shit. That's what we want. We want the juicy stuff. Okay. Let's go over the features real quick. 2 new dungeons, new item sets, new collectibles, new furnishings, new achievements. Skipping down, we're not gonna go over the dungeons. Okay, new item sets. Awesome. All right, guys, we have added several new item sets and monster masks to acquire from the Scribes of Fate dungeon. Bal Sanar, that I'm guessing that's the dungeon's name. Right Master's Bond, you got 129 recovery, well, mag recovery, 4% healing done, and about 1k magicka. Healing an ally within 12 meters with a direct heal creates a 15 meter tether between you. And for 10 seconds, this effect can only occur once every 15 seconds, so it's a 66% uptime. You and allies touching the tether are healed every second, scaling off the higher of the magicka or stamina. If you or an ally is overhealed by the tether, you gain minor heroism. That seems like a pretty good healing set, especially if the Balgroot. Oh my god, dude, Balgroot's with this shit, dude. Are you serious? Wow. You can put that right on the back bar, and then Balgroots spamming heals. Damn. That's crazy. But that, I mean, they gotta farm it. It is what it is. Nyx's Hound, it's medium. The first one was light, by the way. This one's a medium set. 2, 3, and 4 piece are all weapon and spell damage. 5 piece, completing a fully charged heavy attack applies minor cowardice to your target for 1 second per 1,000 weapon damage you have. So I'm assuming if you have 5k weapon damage, it's 5 seconds. Lowering their weapon and spell damage from 430. Then you gain major courage for the same duration, increasing your weapon and spell damage for 430, I guess, and for that duration, and it can only occur once every 12 seconds. So I mean, maximum, guys, you'll get 6 seconds out of this, and it's gonna be for 12 seconds. I would say, no, I wouldn't even say maximum. Maximum probably be like 7,000. Some people can touch that, but what I mean is, like, for the regular person or for most builds, they hover around 6,000 if you're doing it correctly. So I'd say 12 seconds, that's a 50% uptime. That's not really that good, especially with, you're lowering stuff and then you're hiring stuff. Does that AoE, completing a full heavy charge, 1 second, you have, no, that's not even AoE. That's single target. Yeah, no, that's not good. Nyx's Hound's Howl is pretty bad. Telvanni Enforcer, heavy. 2, 3, and 4 piece, stamina, health, and magicka. While bracing, your magicka recovery is 369. While not bracing, you increase your stamina. That's a tank set. We're gonna ignore that. Rocks of the Warped. The 1 piece is tri-stat regen. And the 2 piece, each second you're in combat, you gain a stack of Dark Light, up to 30 stacks max. Each stack of Dark Light increases your stamina recovery, magic recovery, and health recovery by 8. So 8 times 3 is 24, 240. So this is a regen set. Each second you're in combat, you lose a stack of Dark Light. That's probably a PvE set, not gonna lie. Scrivener's Hall. Runecarver's Blaze, which is the light. Two and 3 piece are 129. The 4 piece is penetration, and the 5 piece damage over time effects deal additional flame damage on the 3rd damage tick. This damage scales off your weapon or spell damage and now applies the burning status effect. That's really good for DK. That's a really good front bar set for DK. Like, holy shit, dude. Look at this. The 2, 3, and 4 is amazing in itself. And it's a light armor set, so you can put it on jewelry, belt, and then your weapons. This also would be good for something like a Necro, and a Warden, a dot Warden. So like a mag dot Warden for the most part. Even Stam. Shit, even Stam. You can put this on a Stam dot Warden and absolutely shred. Absolutely. Jesus. Let's move on. I'm sorry, words are hard. Apocryphal. Okay, I guess that's what it is. Inspiration, and that's a medium set. 2 piece is crit chance. 3 piece is stamina recovery. 4 pieces weapon spell damage. You and group members within 28 meters of you gain major fortitude, major intellect, and major endurance, increasing your health recovery, magic recovery, and stamina recovery by 30%. What the fuck? What is that? Damn, dude. That's another good back bar set for ball groups or small scalers. That's really good. That's a good set. In my opinion, it's a good set. Only for team play though. If you're solo, that's, you know, it makes no sense to run this. Abyssal Brace, that's a heavy set. You got 2 lines of stamina, 1 line of health, and then, damn, even the 5th line is health. Okay, so big beefy. While you are bracing, your group members are within 12 meters of you. You gain minor evasion, reducing the damage from area attacks by 10%. Another defensive set. Not really that good, but that health though. And then the other monster set, Ozizen the Inferno. The 1 piece is magical recovery. The 2 piece is overhealing yourself or an ally grants them 404k armor for 1 second. Interesting. Healing yourself or an ally grants them minor vitality for 1 second, increasing their healing received by 8%. So what I'm seeing here is if you're running a bunch of HOTS, you're gonna have a really decent uptime on this. So just essentially healing yourself that's not a bad monster set. We may try that. We may try that on a Warden. That seems really good for Warden, honestly, because we got dots going on. I'm sorry, we got HOTS going on all the time. So yeah, nice. Emotes we don't care about. Furnishings we don't care about. Achievements we don't care about. Rewards of the worthy. Ah, okay. So we're getting new shit, guys. We're getting new shit. Several new rewards for the worthy are now available to acquire. Snake in the Stars, light armor. You got 2 piece of the magic recovery, 3 piece of the max mag, and you got the 129 weapon and spell damage for the 4 piece. Applying a major or minor debuff to an enemy applies star venom to them for 6 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 12 seconds, 50% uptime. Whenever an enemy with star venom is healed, they take 2848 oblivion damage up to once per second. Ooh, you see this? An enemy can only be affected by 1 instance of star venom at a time. Fuck. Okay, all right. If you could put it on multiple people, that would, yeah, that'd be nice. That's not bad. That's not a bad set. I would say a dot class, a dot setup. Hold on, those 2 first sets, there will be meta. Oh yeah, most likely. Snake in the Stars is fucking That shit's ridiculous. So it's a flat 2848. It's not like a, you know, oh dude, if you combine this, okay, you combine Snake in the Stars, and then you put shit, what is that that monster set? The one where you do the heavy attack and it does the AoE dots. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Names off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure Chat can remind me what it is. Marcelot, thank you, Marcelot. All right, so Shell Splitter, medium. Wow, 4 piece, all four, 2, 3, and 4 are offensive penetration. When an enemy blocks one of your attacks, increase your offensive penetration by 631 for 5 seconds. This effect can stack up to 20 times. You can only gain 1 stack every 0.5 seconds. That's up in the air for me. It's based on people blocking you, and if you're running a dot setup or something like that, or just dots in general, you can't block dots. Now if you're, you know, doing a whole bunch of direct damage, like for a Sork, for example, this might be decent for a Sork. Yeah, this might be pretty damn decent for a Sork. And it lasts for 5 seconds, so you can get a stack every 0.5 seconds. So yeah, that's not bad. Judgment of Akash, it's a heavy set. 2-piece weapon and spell damage, 3 and 4 piece are health, 5 pieces armor, and a bunch of it. Holy fuck. When you deal direct damage with a blink, charge, leap, teleport, or pull ability, so another one of those kind of things, you distort time with, on your enemy. After 3 seconds, the enemy bursts with temporal energy, reducing the movement speed of all enemies within 12 meters by 70% for 6 seconds, and stunning them for 3 seconds. This effect can be blocked, and it can only occur once every 15 seconds. I can see this being double barred with Rush of Agony, and Rush of Agony only, because if you're using Streak, you're already, you know, putting that stun on everybody. I think Rush of Agony into not even a Dawnbreaker, shit, you can start like spin. All right, so you can Rush of Agony. Nah, I wouldn't say spin and win. Yeah, you can Rush of Agony, and as soon as that stun goes off, just pop a Dawnbreaker and start fucking executing. That's not bad. No counter to it either. Yeah, no, there's no counter to that unless the person blocks. But I mean, yeah, with Rush, no, they get pulled in. Yeah, that's the thing. It's after 3 seconds though, so people can spread out quickly after 3 seconds. That's my only thing. However, if you rush in Dawnbreaker, people usually tend to hold block when they get hit by Rush. They'll release block and then get hit with a stun anyways, so that wouldn't be too bad. Judgment of Akash has a place. I think it has a place, especially if you team it up with other, you know, blink, charge, leap, or teleport sets. You know what I'm saying? Like Rush of Agony, for example. All right, so that was the rewards of the worthy. Face markings, new home, new furnishing, skippity skip. Housing quality of life improvements, screen narration, software collagen, blah 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 blah. We got skins, hats, costumes, personalities, emotes, companions, quests. I know that's not it, is it? Oh no, we have to combat and abilities. Okay, fix an issue where stun from successful sneak attacks could trigger off other trigger effects such as item sets. Fix an issue where you could bash and light attack simultaneously while using the gamepad. Filthy gamepad users. Filthy gamepad users using exploits. Fixed an issue where ground targeted spells were canceled with a light attack during their targeting phase while using a gamepad. So apparently there's a bunch of bullshit going on with gamepad. While attempting to light or heavy attack on a gamepad with a ground targeted reticle active, you will now confirm the ability active instead, making these skills easier to use in a more fluid manner while weaving. I mean, I guess. They nerfed me, Nopers. What class did they nerf? Trisec. Fix an issue where using block would not cancel sprint. Interesting. Updated the tooltips for the following player passives to properly mention their skilling effects. Arming you with vital information. Burning light. Okay, good. Blood magic. Decent. Trifocus. Thank you, God. But they need to do something about trifocus. That bug. I don't know if they even know it's in the game. But there's a bug with lightning staff and trifocus. And then spell orb. This passive, I didn't know there was a bug though. Yeah, there's a bug. You can heavy attack somebody like a NPC, and what that heavy attack will do is it'll hit you for full damage, like you're not in PvP. So there's people who, I don't know, you probably seen, you know, a couple sorks heavy attacking bosses, and then like they'll get attacked and they'll keep heavy attack the boss, and then you'll just like insta pop. I got hit with like what, 43k or something like that when that happened. So yeah, they need to address trifocus. They need to address trifocus. There was a similar issue with the AoE execute, you know, the executioner for the two-hander. The AoE one of those, the AoE morph had that same thing, but they fixed it. So they need to fix that shit like ASAP. I don't know if you guys even heard about that, but yeah, they need to fix that. Increase the scaling of all weapon and whoa. Increase the scaling of all weapon light attacks by 50%. Yo, our Sork just got better, dude. Our Sork, the builds that we've been running on Sork have just got better, like by a lot. And werewolf light attacks by 20%, of course. And introduces stat scaling limit on these attacks, so they stop benefiting from weapon or spell damage and magic or stamina after reaching 3850 for weapons and 4813 for werewolf. So it's a cap. Okay, I understand. Note that this limit is unaffected by bonuses to damage, such as critical strikes, berserk, or vulnerability. Wonderful. So you can still scale it up with scalable shit. So that's good. Spoiler. Okay, to further explain what's happening with these attacks, let's create an example experience with everyone's favorite subject, math. Let's say you have a character that has 6,000 weapon or spell damage and 33,000 magic or stamina. Those two things are not you can't do that in the game. You can't have both of those at the same time. It's impossible. But almost classes. In update 35 and 36, your light attacks would take 35% of your weapon and spell damage and 3.33% repeating of your magicka or stamina on a melee light attack, and 90% of those values for a range version. In this example, before any bonuses or multipliers, their base damage will be 3,200 damage. Okay. In update 37, the change would have been seen reaching 3850 as a stat addition would be 6,000 times. Okay, math. 6,000 times 0.525 plus 33.3 thousand times 0.05 equals 4,800. But the base damage stat cap will kick in. Keep in mind that this does not impact the damage of these values when you are evaluating modifiers or reductions that deal with percentages like mitigation, critical strikes, or raw damage increases. Before your minds are too muddled with numbers, let's move on to the part that you probably care more about while we're doing this, of course, because, you know, Zoss just does shit without telling anybody, right? It's like, hey, we made this change. We don't know how to tell you about it, but yeah, we made the change and you guys have to deal with it. That's pretty much Zoss throughout their entire existence. Yeah. Let's see. In update 35, our goal was to try and hit some of the damage ceiling with weaving without hurting the lower and middle experience. Up there we go. They explained it. They want the baddies to you know, get up there with the good people instead of the baddies bringing themselves up as players and weaving properly. We just logged out of the game. That's fine. After ruminating and losing way too much hair, we've now found a way to try to get us back on target of hitting our original goals, where we can actually increase the damage in some of the lower levels of play without changing too much of the numbers on the high end again. So yeah, just like we said, They want bad players to try to keep up with good players instead of actually learning how to play the game. Light attack weaving has been an issue. Well, not an issue. It's been a subject for like the past, I don't know, three to five patches, maybe even more, like maybe 5 to 7, something like that, something around those lines. And them touching it is, it wasn't good beforehand. It's still not good, and it's probably, I would say, getting worse, but we'll see. The end result is light attacks will now scale much more aggressively with your stats, inflating their damage for non-optimized builds. Wow. Inflating their damage for non-optimized builds without changing their damage too much at their ceiling end. Some being super optimized raids environments may lose 1 to 200 base damage on all light attacks. That's so dumb. Anyways, let's go on to fixes. Fix numerous issues where attacks were missing invisible targets when they should not have been. Affected attacks below: burning and poison status effect, Lady Maligda. Oh yeah, that whole person, right? Fiery breath and morphs, impaling shard, and morphs first tick. Okay. Bar swapping while you are actively bracing holding block will no longer temporarily disable block. So block persists through bar swap. Okay. This should significantly reduce the situations of dying while bar swapping. Tanks rejoice your power will no longer no bounds. I mean, that's a PvE and a PvP decent change, because yeah, holding block and trying to get away from people, bar swapping to continue to, you know, buff up and stuff like that, definitely takes a hit when you're not getting that block mitigation, but that's okay. It's all right. Abilities and item sets that pull a singular target will now attempt to taunt the target for 15 seconds if they are not already affected by a player taunt. Okay, we don't care about that. Enemies will now become taunt. Okay, we don't care about that either. Buffs and debuffs added 2 new help entries under the combat header to explain named buffs and debuffs in the major and minor system. Knowledge. Okay, good. All right, guys. What everybody is pretty much here for is the class changes for the most part, right? We want to know who's getting buffed, who's getting nerfed. Yeah, enjoy. We got a sneak peek on somebody else's stream, and some of it ain't good. Let's start. So Dragonknight, Ardent Flame, Fiery Grip, Chains of Dead. It turns from Chains of Empowering Chains to Chains of Devastation. This morph now grants Major Berserk for 10 seconds after casting rather than Empower. As Molten Armaments already grants it in a much more effective way, as such, this morph was renamed to better denote its effects. Such devastation was our intention. DKs are about to be strong as fuck. DKs are about to be strong as hell. And everybody's running chains, whether it's pulling you to them or them pulling themselves to you. You're getting hit with chains. I'm assuming that's the one that is a gap closer. So as long as it's the gap closer, you're gonna get that. You're gonna have DKs all over you. You can't get away. So enjoy that fossil full whip with Major Berserk. Yeah. Enjoy those fatty fat 12k to 15k whips to the face. And if it's corrosive, it's probably gonna be close to what Assassin's Will hits. It's like 20, dude. Just giving DK's Major Berserk. Holy mother of God, dude. Lava Whip, Molten Whip fix an issue where this morph could fail to activate many conditional requirements that stated when casting an ability that costs magic or stamina. Interesting. Note that the conditional requirement that require only a stamina ability specifically will still not fire, as this ability is predominantly magica oriented. Interesting. Necromancer. So before we go into Necromancer, guys, I want everybody to put Feels Bad Man in chat. Okay, Feels Bad Man in chat. I'm gonna read this, and in the back of my mind it's gonna be like, oh. So let's read it. Gravelord, Skeletal Mage, Skeletal Archer morph. Fixed an issue where the damage boost of this morph would fail to apply if the damage was blocked. Unimportant. Yeah, by the way, guys, get to that giveaway. Exclamation point, kaboom. We got a little bit of time left. Boneyard, Grave Robber. Here it goes, guys. Here it goes. Reduce the damage of this synergy by approximately 47% to ensure it's of similar power to other synergies of its ilk, such as Conduit or Combustion. Necromancer has died. At least macro. It's dead. Bone Tyrant, Death Gleaning. This passive now restores, 333, 666 magic and stamina where a nearby enemy dies, up from 100 to 200. Spoiler for Masters of Death, necromancers can often find themselves out of fuel. We don't care about that. Regen is actually really nice, not gonna lie. But that's when an enemy dies. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, guys, fucking Necros are... I almost want to say they're trying to make way for Arcanists, but yeah, Necros are over. Hey, I appreciate that, man. It's rigorous. I appreciate you, man. So yeah, let's continue. Sorcerer. Okay, so we definitely want to see what Sorcerer is about, right? So Conjure Ward, increase the damage shield size of this ability and the regenerative ward morph by 10% buff. Increase the health cap of these abilities by 55%, up from 50% buff. They already been shit on. Why nerf it more though? It doesn't make any sense. They're trying to kill the most recent class to make way for the new class, more than likely. Necros are going to be like a thing of the past. I don't think you'll find a single Necro that's I would say you'll probably still find those bomb Necros, but they'll be more support than anything. And then Stam Crows will still have a place, but they've dropped down to B tier, and then Macro has definitely dropped down to D tier. It's going to be the only D tier class in the game. Even Sork's going to be better. That's how bad Necro just got. We'll pull that giveaway at the end of this, guys. I think we're almost done. Here, we're gonna pause here actually, and we're gonna pull it. All right, Woosenator, you're the winner. We'll get it to you as soon as I log back in. I promise. Yeah, they've shit on this quite a much. But let's continue. This ability now in its morphs now dynamically scale between the higher of your max health or magicka, rather than only magicka. Harden Ward, increase the damage shield size of this morph by approximately 7%, and now increases the health cap to 72% up from 60%. That's pretty solid if you're running board. That's for magicka, you know what I'm saying? It gives them, but that means you have to force yourself to go higher health nowadays, which is okay, I guess. Empower Ward is called Regenerative Ward now, renaming this more to prevent confusion with the buff type, whatever. Developer comment: shields are our primary defense identity for Sorcerer class, but since the balance adjustments to shields in the year past, the class has struggled a little bit to keep up defensively in ways that help reinforce this feeling. We're making a targeted adjustment to try and help their core class shield to make them stand out above others, while avoiding the concerns of shield stacking in the years past. I mean, that's all they really had at back in the days, but we're hoping this will also help the class kill potential go up a little in PvP environments. Bullshit. How about give us more damage? Give us more damage. Then our kill potential goes up. Where they don't have to spend as much time recasting shields and heals to avoid death. And they can spend an extra second or so spell slinging on the offensive. I get it. We're also hoping the dynamic scaling of magicka, or they should, honestly, it shouldn't be magicka or health, it should be magicka and health. I think, and it should hit a cap. That's my thing. We'll help out those few sorcerer tanks out there that have a shiny tool in their kit. That's so dumb. Summon unstable familiar. Fix an issue with this ability and its force. If another sorcerer's version of these abilities attack the target, your own would rally to their cause and immediately become active in combat as well. However, we still encourage you to use them to aid one another in battle nonetheless. Okay, whatever. Storm calling. All right, guys. This is the major change. Okay, this is an awesome change. I wish they would change the scaling on it, but like the actual initial hit. But check this out. Increase the size of the area effect portion of this ability and its morphs from 5 meters up from 4. That's a buff. Not really, it's meh, but it's a buff. Now here's a kicker. Fix an issue where the execute damage from this ability abilities were not properly labeled as an execute. Mage's Wrath, the morph, the Mage's Wrath, the one that gives you back the magicka. This morph now deals its execute damage to all targets nearby, rather than dealing an initial hit and a smaller amount of damage to nearby targets. This will result in an approximately 129% damage increase of the area effect, while also causing the ability to appear under the same ability for combat loss. Stam Sword crazy now. With execute, just if we get buffs other, I mean, this is like the first, right, this is the first patch notes, whatever. They could change more shit, like for example, they need to change Crystal Shard. Crystal Shard needs like a 50% buff. Crystal Shard needs a 50% buff. They need to do armaments. They need to rewind those changes, or at least half those changes from bound armaments. And Curse needs to hit hard. Curse needs to have a similar effect to what Warden has, where it starts off weak and then the second one gets stronger, something along those lines. Or maybe both hit hard as fuck, you know what I'm saying? That also needs a 50% buff. We just need to do more damage as Sorks. Not saying I'm a Sork main or anything, but yeah, I've definitely played a lot of Sork recently, and Sorks need the help for sure. Overload, fix an issue where this ultimate and its morphs would not remove themselves when heavy attacking, just enough with just enough ultimate for one tick. Yeah, fuck that. That's that bug, guys, where I would power, and then I would get stuck, right? And I wouldn't be able to light attack at all. That's that particular bug they're talking about. Templar, Adric Spear, Radial Sweep. Empowering Sweep is turning into Everlasting Sweep, okay. Increase the duration of the pulsating damage over time to 10 seconds at a base, up from 6 seconds. Not bad. This morph no longer grants him power, as Solar Flare and its morphs already grant this buff. As such, the name has been adjusted to prevent confusion. Confusing who? Dawn's Wrath, Backlash. Fix an issue where this ability and the Purifying Light morph were considered magical melee damage rather than magical range damage. Note that the power of the light was already considered martial range damage and has not changed. Okay. Eclipse, Living Dark. Fix an issue where this ability's visuals will cause you to appear invisible in some cases. That's what we've been running into. You know, like when those Templars just randomly go invisible and we're like, where the fuck did they go? That's an issue. Okay, so that was a bug. Understood. Good to know. Warden. Lord Warden. Armade. Let's see what happens. Animal Companions. Dive. That's all some of the cases. Yeah. Cutting Dive. This morph no longer requires the enemy to not be off balance or the damage over time ability to apply, and will now apply anytime it deals damage. Thank you. Appreciate it. Warden's Embrace, Crystallized Shield. This ability and this shield morph now grant 2 ultimate when the shield takes damage, rather than restoring magic equal to 22% of the ability cost. Okay. Increase the cost of this ability. Ooh, that's a nerf. To 4320 up from 3780. Reduce the shield strength of this ability and the Shimmering Shield morph by approximately 33%. You know what? I'm not mad at that. I main Magden and Stamden, and I will tell you, when I am against a Magden or a Stamden on any kind of range anything, holy mother of God, dude, they're impossible to kill, especially if they have the reflect. I'm not mad at that change. I'm not mad at it, and I play it. and I'll be taking more damage, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. That was a welcome change. It's like when Sorks had that crazy ass dot damage. It's just like, we're not mad. It's a welcome change. We're not mad at all. Okay, so spoiler. Currently, this ability and its morphs are enabling too much defensive power for the Warden against ranged opponents. We just said that. While simultaneously allowing them to keep up the ability with next to no cost. In order to peel back some of the power in those regards, we are increasing the cost and removing the self-sustaining portion, while also trying to give some love back with ultimate generation. Awesome. Okay, so that's gonna be ult gen, block. It's still gonna be good. It's still solid. There's nothing wrong with it. You're gonna see every single Warden running it. So while doing this, they're also trying to differentiate the morph power you pick from, where Slab is more used about shaking off range builds and being more defensive, while Shimmering doubles down on being the juicy ultimate generation. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. That's a welcome change. Honestly, not mad at the changes. Seems way more balanced. No, they just balanced it out. That's okay. Destruction Staff, Ancient Knowledge, fixed multiple issues where the Inferno Staff, there's no more class changes, by the way. Like they haven't looked at, they're not looking at freaking fucking Nightblades and all that damage. You know what I'm saying? They haven't. Oh god, dude, they got so much work to do. Nightblades are definitely a problem right now. I got hit with a 27k Assassin's Will. Nice scaling, bro. Nice scaling. Fix multiple issues where the Inferno and Lightning Staff components were applying to incorrect attack types. Okay. Elemental susceptibility. This morph's secondary effects are now tracked separately rather than being linked to Major Breach. This will allow the status effect from the ability to continue with multiple applications are active, or when other sources of Major Breach applied, and do not overwrite this. Good. Okay. Cool. Reduce the frequency tick to 7.5 seconds, down from 6 seconds. Interesting. That's okay. That's okay. Wall of Elements. All versions of this ability and its morphs will now display a hostile telegraph to enemies. Wall of Frost and its morphs will now apply minor breach and reduce the movement speed of enemies by 40% for 4 seconds when damaging the chill target rather than immobilize. No! No! Oh no! Oh, the nerf. Holy mother of God, dude. Why? Not my Frost Staff, man. Jesus. Not gonna lie though, the immobilize is annoying as fuck, but man, did we have fun. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Wall of Frost. Rest in peace. Spoiler. In efforts to help reduce the amount of passive crowd control in the game, we're shifting the power of Wall of Frost control to a snare rather than an immobilize, while giving it while helping it gain some more use cases in PvE parts of the game. Sad day. Sad day. Those are the kind of changes, guys, that stick. Those changes. When they like tweak some shit like that, that's some shit they don't revert. We won't be seeing roots on Frost for a while. So all you Wardens who are using Wall of Elements and want that root, guess what? Gotta use your ability, which I probably will end up switching to. It does more damage than Frost Staff anyways. Flurry for dual wield. Fix an issue with this ability and its morphs where the damage and audio impacts appear delayed and out of sync. Okay, cool. Two hand. Cleave. Fix an issue where the visuals and sound effects from this ability and its morphs could fail to play properly in some cases. Okay. Crit charge, Stampede morph. Fix an issue where the initial hit of this morph would only guarantee its critical strike against the first target hit rather than all targets hit. Okay. Note that this guaranteed critical still does not apply the damage over time portion of the ability, which is by design. Okay. Uppercut. Wrecking what? Wrecking blow. This morph now grants major berserk for 5 seconds. Now it's really time to wreck it. Holy wow. Do both morphs do off balance? Can somebody confirm that for me? Do both? I don't think both morphs do off balance. If they do, however, Wrecking Blow is back in full force. Everybody who's running D-Swing is going to be using Wrecking Blow if Wrecking Blow gets off balance. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, guys. Wrecking Blow is going to be crazy. So you're probably going to see something like it doesn't. Oh, thank you, Jesus. You're probably going to see stam decays with Wrecking Blow, and I would say stam sorks with Wrecking Blow as well. That seems to make sense, but we'll see. Vampire Misform. This ability and its morphs are no longer toggle ability. Okay, that reduce your damage taken from players or grant crowd control immunity while active. Instead, they now teleport you to the position of your cursor up to a maximum of 15 meters away, and reduce your damage taken from the next 3 projectiles by 100% while teleporting. Interesting. Casting any of these abilities will increase the cost of the next ability by 33% for 4 seconds. So they're giving it a it's almost like streak, and they're giving it the whole streak treatment where it increases in cost every time you use it. Okay, understood. Elusive Mist. This morph now grants major expedition and major evasion. Wow. Wow, that's really good. Elusive Mist is really fucking good. Wow, dude, that's one hell of a change. You won't be able to escape, you know, I mean, you won't be able to, you know, block all that damage, but holy mother of God, dude. Yeah, dude, wow, dude. That's crazy. Blood Mist, this morph now causes you to deal damage around you and heal for the damage caused once every 2 seconds. Over 20 seconds after activating the ability, rather than once every second while active. Increase the damage tick by approximately 9%. Okay, that's cool. Spoiler. It's a long ass spoiler. This skill has been a wild ride for the past 8 years. It has. And we tried to persevere the original skill as much as we could with the rework. We run into far too many issues with how the skill was used and how it operated. And its current iteration doesn't have enough use between all gameplay types. Let's pause here. So there was a bug with I think fossilize on DK. If you tried to fossilize into somebody who was using Mist, it would bug fossilize out permanently until you went through a load screen. Yeah, so I mean, welcome change all around. If they were trying to fix that issue, they'd fixed it if they even knew it was an issue. But there was an actual bug with DK. If you tried to fossilize and somebody used a misform, it will bug out your fossilize. You couldn't use it on anybody until you hit a reload screen. So interesting. While it was a widely used skill and could be a lot of fun to play with, it was creating many unhealthy gameplay implications in both PvE and PvP. It was being used in ways that didn't feel very vampiric in nature. Whatever. We've decided to go back to the drawing board to hit on what the original skill was trying to invoke in terms of feeling use. To try to retain the element of slipping into mist and evading attacks, we've shifted the skill into more of a movement-oriented ability rather than a pure utility and defensive one, causing you to slip into mist temporarily to evade projectiles and make a hasty retreat or engage. The morphs still focus on the same options as well, where Elusive Mist doubles down on slippery nature of the skill with bonuses and mitigation, while Blood Mist continues to reward those bloodthirsty play styles with lifesteal. So dumb. Also be wary of those pesky fighter guild attackers. They know how to get around all of those nasty new tricks. Interesting. I'm actually fairly interested to see that passive that they have that goes along with Mist that increases your damage when you come out of Mist. If that stays, if that persists, every single person who doesn't have a gap closer, right? Every single person is going to be running Elusive Mist. every single vampire, I should say, is going to be running Elusiveness. I mean, it works. Yeah, it works. Werewolf, Piercing Howl, Feeding Frenzy Morph. This synergy now grants minor force and empower for 10 seconds rather than only empower for 5 seconds. Howl of Despair, this morph now allows the caster to self-synergize Feeding Frenzy. Ooh, okay. Fighter Skill, Trap Beast. This ability in morphs will now only trigger ability timers after they hit a target rather than after placing and after hitting a target. Citric Order, Consecrated Barrier. Fix an issue where the shield from this passive could be half of its listed value in some cases. Alliance War, Support, Guard. Fix an issue where this ability in morphs transfer damage was able to trigger other conditional requirements. Understood. Oh, this one's big. Many distance-based item sets such as Zons or Scourge Harvester would now properly interact with dragons. Okay, whatever. Consumables. So check this out, guys. Glyph of physical harm and physical spell harm. So physical harm and spell harm, essentially. These enchantments now grant weapon and spell damage rather than only weapon damage or spell damage. Physical harm now Glyph now adds 10 stamina recovery at all qualities. It's not that big of a deal. While spell harm does magic and recovery at all qualities. It aims to continue our work on hybridization. We're merging these enchantments to grant hybrid stats. However, we still want to retain some semblance of differentiation with these glyphs, so we don't need to remove them from existence. This would actually cause a lot more problems than it seems. We're adding some very small bonuses to each. This bonus will be small enough that you shouldn't feel the need to take one over the other. But if you're really trying to optimize, you can play around with either to get that extra bit of power. Meh. So at max you get 30. If you're stacking all three, you get 30 of each region, which is not that big of a deal. Bloodthirsty, this trait now grants up to 210 to 350 and spell damage against enemies under 90% health, up from, oh shit, dude. Oh, that's huge. I'm sorry, that was loud, guys. I apologize. That's fucking huge. Up from 70 to 350, this will cause the trait to reach the same final results as before, but with less of a power gap between the lowest and the highest quantities. Damn, dude. Harmony. This trait now grants up to 880 health, magicka, and stamina when you activate synergy per trait rather than increasing healing, damage, and shielding. Oh no. Rest in peace, Necro. Rest in peace, Necro. Necro has officially died, guys. I mean, we already, it was already dead back when we saw the nerfs, but now we just hit the nail in the coffin. Just hit the nail in the coffin. Damn, dude. Damn. However, that does stop ball groups from bombing. So guess what that does, guys? That brings back power to the Zergs. That brings back massive power to Zergs. Yeah, fuck ball groups. I get it. Fuck ball groups. But yeah, that's gonna hurt. Everybody's going off of Harmony. Harmony's gonna be useless right now. Unless you're like a healer, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's gonna be useless. Let's see the useless developer comment. This trait is far too niche for its intended use, and it's meant to be an enhancer to the Undaunted skill line and group play, but ironically it's being utilized by more solo builds in PvP to instantly obliterate large groups. Yes, that's exactly what it's supposed to be used for. The fuck? We're shifting this trait to be more recovery focused, which has much more use potential in PvE and PvP, rather than trying to continue to making a value that doesn't add more insta-giving potential, but still has impact enough in PvE. Rest in peace, Necro. I think we're gonna take everything off of our Necro and retire our Necro to a banker. I think our Necro is going to be a banker from now on, guys. Dungeon and arena sets. Crimson Oath, after cracking the code. The set not only fires when you meet the conditions met in combat. That's not really important. Mythic items. Fix an issue. It's not really important. Overland sets. Fix an issue with tooltips. The Night Terror, 7th Legion. Yeah, that's not important either. What else do we have? What else do we have? I'm pretty sure I missed something, but that's okay. Collectibles, mythics, furnishings, quests. Yeah, dungeons, quests, all this stuff. Alright guys, yeah. So hold on, wait. Reading the following lore books, current restoration, staff, skill, progress rather than destructive path. Oh, okay, interesting. I think that's about it, guys. I think that's about it. We're doing this live, but if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this particular video. Let me, make sure let me know in the comments, guys, if you like these kind of videos or not, where I'm going over everything so far as the, my opinions on the sets and the nerfs and buffs and all that good stuff. Outside of that, guys, see you next time.